Hi everyone. Today we're going to do something really special, something different. As we have spent the last 2.5 years since I've been online trying to laugh at my silly outfit misfits or oohing and awing over some beautiful packaging or product, I have been developing my art of creating beautiful videos, which was the original thought of the channel, and it's still what I want for this channel, to be able to bring joy to my viewers' lives and make it in a beautiful way that you all can enjoy. But originally I thought I would be making beautiful videos for people like me, you know, where we're at least 45 and older, our children are grown or in the process of leaving the nest. And I watched a video recently, if you have a chance, take a look at it, where this psychologist who has done TED Talks, and I'm sure he has written books, talks about something that we are going through right now, which is figuring out our generational legacy. So what happens is when you're in your teens and the early 20s, you develop traits. Life has given you experiences that kind of help you form what it is that you want to do with your life. In my case, I wanted to become a geneticist. So I went to school for biochemistry, and then eventually I was going to have a PhD, but those things didn't work out. I ended up getting married, moving on, you know, a life story. And it wasn't until I was 38 when I got pregnant with my son. At that moment when I found out that I was pregnant, that was my reason for being. And everything else I had done prior to that point was just filling up space. So I've devoted all the past 15 years raising him. And the less that he needs me, the more I feel the need to find something else to put my attention to. And studies have shown that as we age, women and men need a purpose. In longevity studies, that purpose, that sense of communion, that sense of community, that sense of being needed or being part of something bigger than yourself is what makes the centenarians thrive. And I thought, I have something that I can share with you guys that can help you in that leaving your legacy to others if you choose to. I know that some of you are focusing on your grandchildren or traveling, and that's enough for you, and that's okay. We all choose how we live best and how we can live with ourselves. For me, I have a need to leave something else, and it's a very narcissistic sometimes view, because I know that in 3 generations I will be forgotten. What do you remember of your great-grandparents other than their names and maybe one story or two? I know that in this media, YouTube, my videos will disappear, and my great-grandchildren will hardly even know I existed. And I am lucky enough to have passed on my genes for my child, and that might continue. According to Dr. Dan McAdams, as we reach this time in our lives, we are starting to think about generational purpose. And what is generational purpose? It is whatever it is that we're going to do that will affect our great-grandchildren or people beyond us. And some people have naturally become these iconic examples of somebody who can leave a generational legacy, like Jane Goodall with her studies of chimps, movie stars that have created beautiful movies. Everybody, you know, Elon Musk, big example. But we don't have to be this big, iconic example to our grandchildren and great-grandchildren or the world at large. All we need is to find a purpose that will, one, help us as we extend our lives. Because of technology, we all should be living longer, and work days are going to be reduced to about 3 days a week. I think there's a lot of talk of that with the advent of AI. Health discoveries are extending our lifetimes here on this earth, and we all need a purpose. Long story, but I thought I kind of needed that background to let you know that as we put our heads together, we can help each other find out our little purpose for this time period in our lives. I knew my purpose was to raise a child. I knew my purpose was to start a channel. But I want to make this channel touch more people. I want to help you guys see things that seem abstract become more concrete and actually take steps and actions to figure out what it is that you can do. And also, I know that most of us are so fortunate to be in a position, I know I am, where I'm in my early 50s, I'm 54, and I have time in my hands and the means to spend my hobbies creating videos. But I want to leave a legacy, and I know that even people that have jobs have left legacies. So everyone can be part of this movement. So I'm inviting you to participate. I have put together 100 ways that we can make an impact. I did use AI to help me categorize it so that it doesn't become repetitive. But these ideas should help you come up with your own idea of what's comfortable for you, to find that purpose, to develop that group of friends that you need in this time of your life, to develop systems that your family can learn from and maybe even use it themselves in the future. And we can all do that. And if it's not important for you, that's fine. But for those of you that think this idea is liminal, that you know it's there but you can't quite see it, I hope that these 100 ideas will help. I do have to split this video into several, so I'll make a series of it, because otherwise you guys are going to be bored to tears. But this would be my introduction. I will try to post them pretty much every day until I get to the 100. I don't know how much editing, so how pretty the videos will be, but hopefully, regardless of how beautiful they look, I want them to be helpful. Unleashing your impact. 100 ways to leave a legacy after 50. Some of these might appear repetitive, but they're said in a different way in order to give you inspiration, and maybe something will touch you and resonate with you, and you can grow from there. So today I'm going to start with 10 out of the 100 ways that we can leave a legacy. We'll do that, and then I'll have more ways in next videos. I just don't want to bore you after this long introduction. So for this first part, I have impacting families and communities. So one way, with your expertise, say you were a professional woman or you were a mom of 6 children, you can mentor a young woman or man, depending who's watching, but 99% of my viewers are women. Share your wisdom, fuel her dreams, encourage her, and share your experience and expertise with her. So whatever your expertise is, I think that's a great one, right? I don't know, even if you know how to sew or if you know how to cook, empower that human being to be the best that she can be at the situation where she is. Maybe her parents are gone, or she is a young mother, or she's a single mom. So she needs somebody that has gone through similar situations to intervene, but sometimes they are too proud to ask. So that might be something you can somehow arrange to go find somebody that you can mentor, and it will ease up and improve their lives. Number 2, start a community garden. Grow food, grow connections. Grow extra in your own garden to donate to causes. Now this one I thought from my friend Georgie. She is in this channel right here. She's a flower farmer in the UK, and I believe it's March 11th. I will correct it if I'm wrong. She's starting a new drive where everybody should plant a little bit extra, and from that extra have organize a plant sale. Whatever she raises from the plant sales or her community raises, they are going to donate, I think, to a preservationist association, or you can donate it to food banks or to schools. You know, the choices are limitless, so choose that. Number 3, volunteer at a local school. Read to the kids. Spark a love for learning. Be the grandma that makes her grandchild proud by showing up at school to read for her friends. My son loved it when I showed up to read at his school. And you are bringing joy to those children, a little break to the teachers, and hopefully you are inspiring children to appreciate literature, whatever kind of literature. Obviously, it will be for young children or whatever. Who knows what you can accomplish from this? Let you be the one that determines how far you want to go into this. I love that. Number 4. Foster or adopt. Open your heart, change a life. I actually have one of my lovely viewers who helps a neighbor friend who is fostering a special needs child. So she sits in as the foster grandma. So what a perfect situation to live an impact in the lives of both her neighbor and the foster child. You know, create those moments where those memories of you will be thought of with warmth and kindness. Number 5, champion a local cause. Fight for what you believe in, whatever that is for you. It could be preserving a plot of land or organizing a donation pickup for a family in need. You can try to get involved in your neighborhood association Facebook page, and there's often something that has been talked about. Well, maybe you can volunteer to organize food drop-off or the cooking for a young couple who just had a child, or the child is ill and they don't have time or resources to feed the rest of the families. You know, create a roster of people that can help and be the one organizing that. Or a neighbor had a fire, whatever the situation is, and you can be the one that can make their days a little lighter by organizing. Number 6, advocate for seniors. Be their voice, their champion. Cook them a meal once a week or drive them to have their hair done. Check in on an elderly neighbor. So see, even these tiny little small deeds of kindness, little actions that you would have done anyway, but now with the intent, you know that you're leaving a legacy. Now you're understanding that you're not just taking up space. You have so much to give. And especially if you have special skills, even if you were currently working, you know, take that little extra time to help that neighbor as needed. Number 7, organize a neighborhood cleanup. Leave your mark one leaf at a time. For some of us, curb appeal makes a huge difference in our mood. Why not extend the curb appeal to your neighborhood streets? And this makes me think of a friend who lives in the city, and they organized a median cleanup. So even though they're in the city, it's an up and coming neighborhood that has been restored, the public areas need upkeep. So they organized a little weekend where they cleaned it up, donated flowers, and planted the flowers that weekend. So what's a great way to improve your surroundings and leave a mark? Have you ever heard of, I think it's, what are those things called? It sounds scary, but what you're doing is making these little flower bombs and just tossing them in neglected areas, so that in the spring when the flowers come with the high grass, at least you have flowers in there. It's a real cute idea, and I think it has a huge impact in the mood and the well-being of the people that live in these areas or work in the areas. Number 8, start a book club for grandmas and grandkids. How sweet is that? If I may say so myself. Bridge generations one story at a time. This one is so lovely, and maybe I'll get to do that too when I have grandkids, if I have grandkids and I'm still walking. I used to take my kids to the library for library pajama night, where they go and listen to stories, and when they were even younger, we would go and just listen to stories for toddlers. So how about setting something up at your local library where grandmothers and their grandchildren can come together? You will, one, get to spend super quality time with your grandchild, and also you both will share a experience, like a book that always has a life lesson together. I think that's a beautiful way to leave your legacy as a grandparent. Number 9, teach a life skill, such as sewing, cooking, gardening. You know, I kind of mentioned this before when I told you to mentor somebody, but actually teaching it. Talk to your library or some, what they call third places, where you can go, community areas. We do have several buildings that are delegated to the use of the community for different events. And so why not start a class, teach sewing, you know, all those basic skills that we don't teach our children anymore. For some reason, it has fallen out of grace in the school, or we probably don't have the money and the means to cover for those classes. Wouldn't that be amazing if you, with your expertise, could teach them to decorate cakes or to even bake a cake in the most basic way. Teach how to write a book, or how to write a letter, or how to write a professional letter, how to make cards. Whatever your interest is, you know, reach out and give your talents to the world. I think it's going to be very fulfilling to do something like that. And maybe find places like libraries or your church, and they might even have like a kitchen set up that you can, where you can do that. Maybe you can host a life skill class this summer, just a few months away, so you have a few months to prepare for it. Number 10, this one is more for your home. Create a family history project. Preserve memories and connect generations. My husband has an aunt who doesn't have children, and so she had the privilege of having time to explore things like genealogy. So she has been working in the past few years, and every year she travels somewhere to get more information, visits libraries. That's what she enjoys doing. But it is a great way and a great gift for the other people in the family to have somebody to actually put together the history of their families that goes back many generations, with not only the names and dates, but with maybe some background stories of who married who, and they died and they lived in this house, and have pictures of the house. I mean, you can make it as complex or as simple as you want. I have an aunt in Brazil who also didn't have children and liked genealogy, and she spent a lot of time. I have a large family. She rolled us back all the way to Portugal and to the Crusades. I mean, how cool is that? What wonderful gift it is for me to every now and again go look through her notes and look through our family tree and understand where we came from. I mean, it doesn't matter where we came from. We are all the same. We all have our own responsibilities, but it is still a beautiful way to preserve that history. And for me and my children and grandchildren, they will learn from that experience. They will know who they were, who we are today because of our ancestors, and hopefully give some sort of respect that is due to the ones that have come before us. Well, that's it. I gave you 10. I really am hoping that I'll be able to churn these out throughout the week. And if you can, and you have not done so, hit the subscribe button so that you will be informed when I put out another video. Actually, you need to hit the bell button for that. And you don't have to watch me forever, but stick around for the next few days as we go through these different things to do to create your legacy. I hope you had fun, and I hope you find what you're looking for.